Hello and welcome to Introduction to PHP. In this tutorial, we will see what is PHP, why PHP, the history of PHP, and we will see some prerequisites that will be required to have to start with the PHP, and we'll see some example of PHP code. So let's get started. What is PHP? PHP is a hypertext preprocessor programming language, and this one is a open source means this one is freely available, can use server side scripting language, and it is used to generate the dynamic pages. So not just dynamic, you can also create a static page as well, that you can use the same code as you use in HTML here in the PHP, and that will be your static one. But in case you want to do some form processing and and stuff, so that's why the dynamic concept has been added with the PHP. So PHP scripts reside between the reserved PHP tag. We will see example in coming slides. So this PHP allows the programmer to embed PHP script within HTML pages. Moving to the next slide. PHP is interpreted language. It means scripts are parsed at runtime rather than compiled beforehand. Okay, like C is a high level language, but that is compiled language. Same, and PHP is an interpreted language. So PHP basically executed on the server side, unlike JavaScript. So JavaScript is executed on client side. So the source code will not be visible to user or the client. So basically, if you are working with only HTML, if you press Control U on any web page, you get all the content over there. But in case of PHP, after viewing the view source, it will not display you the code of PHP. It will display the whatever the content is appearing on that particular page. So it has various built-in functions that allow a developer to fast development. It has a huge set of functions around string and arrays. It is compatible with many popular databases like the MySQL. It work with Oracle, SQL Server. We can use with PHP. Now, why PHP? So it is ease of learning here. PHP has a straightforward and easy to understand syntax. It can be learned easily. The second thing you can say, the popularity and the community. PHP is backed by a massive user community, wide adoption. That means the many established company or website using the PHP, like the Facebook is using the PHP, United Nations also using the uh, PHP, and LinkedIn itself use the some portion PHP. So built in build for the web. So this is basically whenever you are looking for any website development and the application that will be working around the web, PHP is a well suited there. Integration with the database, yes, as I told you, it works with it compatible with many databases like the MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server. The next advantage is cross-platform compatibility. PHP can run on different operating system and web server, providing the flexibilities in deployment options also. Performance improvement. Yes, initially it was not much recommended, but over the years, PHP has released many versions with improved performance and the improved security. So hosting options widely available and often affordable as compared to the other programming languages. Moving to the next slide. The history of PHP. So PHP began in 1995 when Rasmus Ladroff developed a Perl CGI script tool set he called a Pearson home pers- she called a personal home page or PHP. So basically, whenever you come to the full form of PHP, sometimes people call personal home page. Sometimes people call it preprocessed language. So after this 1995, the PHP released its second version in 1997, then the third in 1998, The fourth release comes in 2000, and you can see the current version is PHP 8.2. Okay. So moving to the next slide. Prerequisites. Now we know the definition of PHP, when you can use, why you should use, and the history. Now, what all setup will require to start with the PHP? So you should have the web server, like you can download the gem or wam and install on your machine. It will provide you the package, like it will have the Apache and the database also, the mysql. So Apache will be required to execute your PHP code, and for the database, the mysql, it will install. So HTML and CSS knowledge is good to have if you already know before starting this PHP. The basic programming concept you should know, and the web browser like the Chrome, I will be required to run your code here. Now the text editor like the Notepad, Notepad plus plus, or any ID like the you have BSC, Eclipse, NetBeans, you can use for the coding purpose. So these are the prerequisites. Now, what does PHP code look like? Structurally, it is very similar to C, C++, or Java. It supports procedural and the object-oriented paradigm both. So PHP statement end up with a semicolon. Each PHP script must be enclosed in the reserved PHP tag. You can see here the two tags. So opening tag, you can see angular bracket question mark with PHP, and you can put your code here, like the code goes here in the comment you can see, and PHP script end up with this symbol. Okay, question mark and the closing angular bracket. Moving to the next slide. Comment. So the first thing you start here, the comment in PHP, how you can comment out any code. So comment is something you write inside a code, but it will not be visible to the user. Okay. So in the similar way, you see the C, C++, and other programming language, it also support the same way. The commenting here, you can also do the single line commenting and multiple line commenting here in PHP. In two way, you can use the single line comment, like double slash you can use, the hash you can use, and for the multiple line comment, you can use this. You can see here. Now next, variable. Yes, variable. PHP variable must begin with a dollar sign. It is a case sensitive, like if you have foo in caps, you can make it in a smaller way. So global and local scope variable you can declare, like if anyone is outside the function, inside the function, these are stuffs will remain the same as you run in C, C++ or Java. The certain variables name reserved by PHP. So the forms variable you can use for the forms, like the post you will have, the get, the request, and the server variable. There is a server variable. So these are basically the global variables you can use. Variable usage, you can assign number. So this way you can, here you can see the first line, the PHP is starting with, and in at the end you can see the PHP closing. So between this, do you see the first line foo equal to 25? That means the numeric value is assigned to this. So as you can see here in PHP, there is no data type required before assigning any value. If I have assigned 25 to foo, that means its foo variable is numeric here. If I assign bar to hello, that means it will be a string variable. Yeah. Moving to the next slide. Echo. If you want to print out any stuffs here, in you will have to use the echo. You can use the print. You can use the printer also. For example, here you can see echo bar. That means it will print out hello. Moving to the next slide. Arithmetic operations you can perform, like the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, everything you can. Okay. Concatenation. That means if you have two string you want to concatenate, you can concatenate using dot. You can see here, by using the dot you can concatenate two strings. And in JavaScript script, basically we concatenate string with plus icon. Okay. So if you have two variable, string one hello, string two contains PHP, and in string three you can see here string one dot. You can see again the space is concatenating dot string two. So the if you execute this in a browser, it will give you the hello PHP. Got it? Moving to the next slide, escaping the character. Yes, for the security purpose, before inserting data into the DB, you must escape s- your string. So escape will be work like this. Okay. PHP control structure. Yes, you can use here the if else condition also. So if else if you can use, and these conditions remain the same like you will see in PHP, the Java language. Okay. So if else statement, if user is John, you can print hello John. If user is not John, else you are not John. Same way the while loop, the for loop, the while loop will be working here. Okay, you can see this example code and the output will be this. The date functions. Yes, it has lots of pre-built function that is around the date in PHP. You can use here. You can use the date function with multiple type of parameters. On the basis of date parameter, it will give you the output. Okay. In the first example, you can see here the year in 4y, and then month in one character, one, then day in one. So it is print like this. The left side 2009 for one, you can see. Same way, if you want to print like this, you will have to print like the L F M Y. So this is basically what the explanation you can see here. Function must be defined before they can function must be defined before you are using in PHP like other language. Okay. So for example, if you have to define the function, there is a function key, then your function name will appear, then the list of parameter, then your function block will be start, then it will close. And inside that function block you can write all your logics based on your parameter, yeah, whatever you want to write here. Okay. Here you can see the example of function. Okay. Moving to the next slide. Include file. Yes, you can include a file like you have a template, like you have a header, something header, then the footer, then the content, middle area is different. Like you have 5 pages, like let's say home page, contact us, about us, blog page. So these are the list of pages you have, and it is follow the same header and the footer. In this case, you can make header and footer in separate, and you can include in your page, like include header.php, include footer.php. Okay. So there are multiple way to include the files in PHP, like you can use the include, same way you will have require, then include once will have, require once we will have. Okay. Moving to the next slide. PHP form. Yes, you can see here the simple example that of form that is in HTML, and above you can see the PHP code. After the form submission, it will be executed. If you cancel, the cancel part will be executed. As you can see here, the first submit is coming under if, and else under else if it is coming under the cancel. Now the PHP sessions you can use. Yes, now you can also destroy the session. Let's see here the first example, hello world. Okay, so you can create a page, PHP page. You can save that page as a sample.php. The extension of this PHP programming language will be .php. So whatever name of your file you put with, you will have to add .php. Okay, like you add C in for C language, .cpp for C++ language, .java for Java language. Okay, so HTML will be working the same, and you can put your hello world here. So thank you. In case you have any questions, then feel free to ask me in the comment, and I will try giving all your answers. Thank you for watching, and have a great day ahead.